name is and I'm going to be talking about strange allergies and their symptoms. About 5 years ago, a movie called The Happening came out, which it was about nature trying to get control over us, which is showing us how allergies been increasing these past years. So how many of you guys are aware to suffer from allergies? According to this article, it's wellnessjunction.com, 2 out of every 10 Americans are affected by allergies, and the symptoms that come with them are often unpredictable. Today I will talk about strange allergies and their effects, and by the end of the speech you will gain knowledge on how to prevent the symptoms and how to deal with them on a daily basis. Allergies have a genetic component. If only one parent has allergies of any type, chances are 1 in 3 that each child will have an allergy. If both parents have allergies, it's much more likely that their children will have allergies. I'm going to be talking about the different types of allergies, what causes them, the symptoms of the allergies, if you're at risk, and the allergy test. How can you prevent them? According to this article, Changing Prevalence of Allergies, these are some of the different types of allergies. Food allergies or food intolerance affect nearly everyone at some point. People often have an inflection reaction to something they eat. For example, being allergic to milk is different from not being able to digest it properly due to lactose intolerance. Seasonal allergies, whether it's the long-awaited change of winter to spring or the quiet fading of summer into fall. For many of us, the changing of the season is the start of allergies. For example, the pollen from the trees, grass, flowers, and plants makes its way into the air, causing us sneezing, wheezing, runny nose, and watery eyes. Other allergies, we have the mold allergy, the eye allergy, skin allergies, which comes from the products that we get at the drugstore. The most popular that we have here in Florida is the hay fever. It's caused by an allergic response to outdoors and indoors allergies, and the sinus, that is not only with the cold, it has to do with the pollen as well. According to Dr. Donchnik, Edge, and Don, these are some of the symptoms of the allergies. They are caused by an overreactive immune system. For some reason, your body mistakes harmless substances such as dust or pollen. Your body releases chemicals such as histamine, just as it does when fighting a cold. This can cause a swelling in your nasal passage, runny nose, coughing, and sneezing. According to Ishizaka T and Ishizaka K, these are the allergy tests. The blood test allergies detect and measure the amount of allergens, the specific antibodies in your blood. Allergy blood tests usually screen for at least 10 of the most common allergies, such as dust, mold, and food allergies. The allergy skin test is used to identify the substances that are causing your allergy reactions. The procedures varies depending on what type of allergy skin you're having. The 3 main tests are the scratch test, the intramural test, and the patch test. Recently, I was speaking to one of my coworkers, which he went to the army, and he was telling me a pretty cool way to test if you're allergic to something in the food. If you get stranded in the wilderness, to just grab something and you just put it on your arm for like 30 minutes. If nothing happens, you could eat it. In conclusion, it will seem that allergies is a disease that is more out of control than ever before. And in fact, statistics do show that the number of allergies has risen dramatically in the last 20 years. Medical experts speculate that the increases is due to environment changes and the lifestyle we live in. We live in a very stressful life now that in years past, which takes a toll on our immune system and can lead to common allergies and severe symptoms. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, guys. My name is Tiana, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about universal healthcare. And by the end of my speech, you guys are going to know the advantages of universal healthcare. Okay. Can I have everyone stand up? Except for you. Oh. Okay. You represent the United States, the only wealthy industrialization that does not have a universal healthcare system. Okay. You guys can sit down. And that's a quote according to the Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences. Okay, the main points I'm going to be talking to you guys about today is the greater access to preventative care, better health, and lower costs. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is the greater access to preventative care. Universal healthcare systems make it free to visit doctors for minor illnesses, which promote better general health along with early detection and treatment. The result is healthier, more productive workers. The current U.S. system, with its deductibles, discourages this type of medical care. Many Americans wait to get care until they are truly ill with catastrophic effects. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about the better health that universal healthcare provides. According to Jennifer Lynn Matoney, better health, while the United States has the highest healthcare cost per person, the overall health of the nations in the world that maintain a universal health system is superior to Americans. According to a list of nations and their expectancies, the United States ranks 49th in life expectancy, behind most European countries like Canada, which all have universal healthcare systems. Last but not least, universal healthcare provides lower costs. Americans spend more money on healthcare per person than any other nation in the world. According to Jackie Wilson by an article that I read on CNN. In conclusion, I want you guys to remember this. The United States is the only industrialized country in the world without a universal healthcare system.
Good morning, my name is Natalia and I'll be talking to you guys about global warming. May I have all of you guys stand up, please? 99% of you guys represent the reason why global warming is occurring. You guys can sit down. So, global warming is determined as temperature changes and damages in today's society and giving outrageous effects, according to the Rothschild from global warming. There are many reasons why global warming occurs, but there will be three main points that I'll be talking to you guys about. It will be greenhouse effect and carbon dioxide, man-made pollution, and temperature change. According to Nave R to hyper6.com, the greenhouse effect occurs when carbon dioxide and other gases prevent energy heat from leaving the atmosphere. But it also occurs due to certain gases, and one of the main reasons is the burning of fossil fuels such as petroleum, coal, and natural gas. Destruction of forests contributes to the amount of carbon dioxide. And when these fuels are burned, they react with oxygen and produce carbon dioxide. Because of our heavy use of fossil fuels, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased since the Industrial Revolution. Man-made pollution. Man-made pollution, as like I said, 99% of you guys represented. We sometimes make it occur due to the misuse that we use in our daily lives. But, the very biggest thing that causes man-made pollution is things that have energy and produce a lot of energy. So it would be like power plants, like industrial smelters, chemical plants, petroleum, and synthetic rubber. All right, spacing is one of the most thing that also causes energy, which would be restaurants, hotels, clubs, laundries, and stores. Transportation services like trucks, motorcycles, automobiles and airplanes, but trucks will be one of the most that causes smog and all of those things that go in the atmosphere. Okay, temperature change. This data shows how annual average temperatures in the contiguous 48 states have changed since 1901. So instead of getting better, our atmosphere is actually getting worse to the usage that we do. Alright, the effects of temperature change will be harming food production and severe temperature changes, for example, high temperatures, storms, hurricanes, and etc. A very big effect that will cause, it could place further stress on water scarce regions and make it harder to rear animals and grow food crops. Alright, climate change may affect plant growth and production by promoting the spread of pests and diseases, increasing exposure to heat stress, and encouraging soil erosion due to stronger winds. So not only it will harm us, but harm our environment, but it will also harm us because we'll be getting things that have disease and have, all kinds of things that will not be good for us. And there are three main important facts that I want you guys to remember, and it is global warming is caused for three main reasons: the greenhouse effect, carbon dioxide, and man-made pollution, giving us effects of temperature change. And global warming will continue due to the misused things that we use in our daily life. Human produces pollution and carbon dioxide in many different ways, which leads to global warming. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, class. My name is Christina Bracera, and I first want to ask all the individuals to please raise a hand who likes chocolate.
What chocolate?
Chocolate, yeah. Well, that's everyone. Okay, I want to start off by saying that chocolate contains an endamine, which is the chemical to our brain that makes us cheerful. And the other components in chocolate help the endamine to help to stay in our brain for a long amount of time. And today I will talk about foods that will make you happy. And by the end, you guys will learn how eating can make your brain and heart healthier and happy. The three main components of foods that everyone should involve in their daily diet is daily vitamins, carbohydrates, and desserts. One awesome way to start the day is to have foods which have vitamins in it. According to 10 Foods to Make You Happy by Gregory Arden, is that milk has vitamin D, B12, and it helps the brain to fight stress in old age. Grapes have vitamin C and all natural sugar, and grapes also help to fight away acids. It's a great snack if we're sick. And nuts are rich in vitamin B, and they help to cause us to have a positive mood. Next, I want to talk about is about foods that can make that will fill us up, carbohydrates. According to the article Nutrition and Food Science by Mabel Blades, a study was shown in Texas that happiness was involved with positive activities such as socializing, eating, and exercising. Bananas have serotonin and is associated with cheerfulness, and it has high levels of potassium. And health experts also express that bananas are one of the healthiest foods, and they recommend us to have a banana every day. Pastas fill us up, and it releases energy slowly. And pasta made from wholemeal flour is a better choice because of highest quantity of fiber and vitamin B. And a stable amount of glucose level has a calming effect and positive mood. Next, I will talk about desserts. And yes, some desserts are healthy to our benefits. Ice cream has vitamin A, vitamin B12, and calcium and protein. Ice cream is beneficial to all of us because it comes, calcium and protein do come from milk. And chemicals found in chocolate releases endorphins from the brain, and it also has a connection to our hormones to make us happy. And strawberries help the production of endorphins, and also the color of the red from the strawberries also causes us to have more attitude and positive mood. end my presentation by saying that food and happiness, they are a team, and milk can fight away stress in old age. Bananas do make you cheerful, and chocolate is associated with pleasure and happiness.
Wait.
Today I'm going to be speaking to you guys about cannabis sativa. It's used by 0.3 of the population. So the percentage of people that use it in the U.S. Sativa is used by 1,029,315 patients in the U.S. 0.3%. Well, I'm going to talk to you about what it is. So it's described as the plant itself, and what it does to the body, what the plant does to the body, like side effects, like how it makes you feel, and medical purposes, how it's used in the medical field, what they use it for, and what it treats. It's also known as marijuana. This is the plant. It's a preparation for dried flower custard seeds. The plant itself is 6 weeks old. This is just a strain of the type of marijuana. According to patients' marijuana, see what it does to your body basically when you ingest it. Gives you red eyes, dry mouth, kind of like dries out your whole face, kind of. But it enhances like everything you like perceive and see, like makes everything like in your brain like you should enjoy everything more. And increase your appetite as well as eat more. It'll speed up your blood pressure. And according to medical marijuana strains.com, medical purposes of sativa, it helps alleviate chronic illnesses like cancer, glaucoma, things like that. It reduces pain, relaxing muscles, reduces pain of the chronic illnesses, things like that. It's also used for stress disorders. Well, thousands of patients are treated with sativa every day. That's it. Well, that's it.
Good morning, my name is Shakira, and I'm going to talk about tattoos actually. And by the end of my speech, I would like you to gain a little more knowledge about tattoos and its history. Can I have just a couple of you tell me how much do you think is the amount spent in the US on tattoos by itself?
A year?
Yes, annual.
About a trillion?
Not, you went too far and you're too low. Just one more. No. Okay. So according to brain statistic, 1.65 billion is spent by itself on tattoos. And each year only on the US, not counting Europe and other countries. Today I will talk to you about the early years of tattoos. Tattoos for each culture. I'm gonna just concentrate on 3 cultures. And I'm going to talk about tattooed people as taboo figures. According to the history of tattoos and Tattoo Temple, the Celts are tribal people that go back to 1200 before Christ. And they were actually believed to have tattoos on the body, and they would call it body art. They were tattooed themselves with wood, which left a blue stain on the skin. That's what they called the body art. Then if we move to Egypt, it's a little bit more different. Egypt was found that more female mummies had tattoos than the males. And they would do their tattoos on the body just for religious beliefs and ritual practice. Then, if we travel to Greece and Rome, they had a lot of neighboring people that had tattoos and would develop the art of tattoos, but they decided not to do it because they said that it was barbarian. It was something that it should be stopped, and it was just not in the religious beliefs to mark the body. So they decided not to do it. According to tattoo history on Tattoo Temple, also, the Celts, their tattoos symbolic of the path taken in life. They had a lot of geometrical signs in their bodies and would also have spirals in the body. This represented all the paths that they would take traveling between countries. And then the Egypts, like I said, it was more ritualistic. So females had to have dashes or dots to represent almost the same as Celts, just a path taken in life. Now, since Rome and Greece decided not to take the attitude of tattoos, they did decide to mark criminals and slaves because they viewed it as something that it was barbarian, it was bad. So they just decided to mark if each criminal in jail would have a tattoo on them, so when they get out, people around them will know you were in jail, so you're a criminal. You did something bad, you're not part of the good society on their religious beliefs. So now that you know a little more about the history and the meaning that tattoos have for each culture, I will talk to you about taboo figures. That's how we are seen, because if you don't believe it or not, I do have my own tattoos. Not showing it all everywhere, but I do have my own. According to J.D. Lloyd on Body Piercing and Tattoos book, since Rome and Greece developed the meaning of tattoos as criminals and slaves and just bad people, people began to start a stereotype. And everyone that you will see in just walking in the street would be, oh, he has a tattoo, it's bad. And that would develop just a stereotype of people that had tattoos for different meanings to just feel bad because they had them. Because people won't talk to them, won't do anything with them, won't deal with them, just because they had tattoos. Also, after being stereotyped, it would develop to be a mark of taboo. People wouldn't want to talk about that, the theme about tattoos. They wouldn't talk about anything that had to do with tattoos. And the ones that had it, they would just hide it because they didn't want to be marked as a taboo and just put aside because they had tattoos. If we do travel now on time and we go to present, thanks to the media and the mainstream, a lot of artists already have tattoos, and you will start to see the tattoos and just accept it. I'm not saying stereotypes have just disappeared, but it has gone down. You can see more in the media, business people, doctors, anyone could just have one tattoo. Even if it's just a little one, pretty much almost, I would say, there's a higher amount of people that have tattoos. Now that you know about taboo figures and all the history and the meaning of cultures, I would like you to remember $1.65 billion is spent in the US just in tattoos. Tattoos can go back to the Celts, And tattoos are going from taboo to mainstream and just to daily lives. Thank you.
Alright, I know we're all tired by the all standing up and not standing up, so by show of hands, who here likes art? Pretty much everybody. How about the graffiti art? So you do. So I'm guessing some of you maybe not, have heard of this anonymous artist named Banksy. No one's heard of Banksy. Even better. So you're going to learn a little bit about Banksy. My name is Jamar, and today we'll be talking about Banksy, and hopefully by the end of today, you will know who he is and what he's about. Art is one of the most common methods for self-expression, whether it's painting, drawing, digital, or even graffiti. So, first I'm going to be talking about the mysterious Banksy. Second, I'm going to be talking about his foundation and method of artwork. And third, I'm going to be pointing out some most of his notable art pieces. So now that we know what we're talking about, let's jump right to it. The mysterious Banksy. Identity. To this day, no one knows who he is. He's been doing graffiti since early 1990s. He has dumbfounded the art world. He has dumbfounded the art world by keeping his identity a secret. Early career, like I already stated, he started in 1990s up in Bristol, in London over there. He was influenced by local artists. Major exhibitions, his first LA exhibition called Existentialism was in July 19, 2002. In 2006, he created his big elephant in the room. The name of it was Barely Legal, the name of the exhibition. And in 2010, he created a film called Exit Through the Gift Shop. Exit Through the Gift Shop, I believe it's actually on Netflix, so if you get a chance, you should watch it. It's a documentary on artists like himself, including Shepard Fairey and Vader and him. It pretty much just follows them around London, to show them what they do and how they do it. So now that I talked about what he does and who he is, let's talk about his foundational works. Techniques used. In a designed by Kinky. It's a magazine in London. There was an interview, and he stated back in 2009, he said, I use anything that it takes, whether it's drawing a mustache on a girl's face on a billboard, or sitting for hours sweating on top of a drawing. Whatever it takes. Efficiency is key. One of his major critiques, or some of his major critiques, is that his artwork is considered vandalism, pretty much throughout the whole world. The major things that he used for his artwork is mainly political and social themes, including anti-war, anti-fascism, anti-imperialism, anti-authoritarianism, anti-anarchism, and mainly his work includes and critiques poverty, hypocrisy, boredom, despair, and that's just to name a few. Now that I know a few of his foundations, let's move on to some of his notable art pieces. The Israeli West Bank. Does anybody know what the Israeli West Bank is? It's a wall that's 20 feet high, concrete. It divides the Israelis from the Palestinians. It's considered, well, as viewed by Banksy, it's considered the biggest open-air prison in the world. In this bank, he created nine images. Most of them all creating the sense of wanting to escape and the sense of it being a better life on the other side of the bank. Disneyland with Tom and Baker. While he was here in 2006, well in LA in 2006, he visited Disneyland and he planted Guantanamo Bay prisoner. This prisoner included an orange jumpsuit, a black hooded mask, and handcuffs. He put it right on by the one of the rides, the Flash Mountain ride. One of the rides. He put it there. It stayed there for nearly 90 minutes before the officials closed down the ride and took it out. The elephant in the room. The actual name of this piece is called Barely Legal. In this room, he actually had an elephant in a room in a warehouse in LA, painted to match the wallpaper in the back. Mainly, he was trying to conduct and show people what world poverty is like, because that's pretty much what he was trying to do in that one. People like a lot of famous people in the world, I can't really remember the names of them right at the second, visited that exhibition and they're all pulled back. No, these are two of the on the wall, the Palestinian wall, the girl with the balloons, and then, like I said, showing a better life on the other side. That's the actual elephant in the room, and that's the Guantanamo Bay prisoner in the Rocky Mountain Railroad attraction. Well, if you guys take anything from this, take that. To this day, no one knows who it is. So it's been over 20 years since he's been doing graffiti, and he somehow managed to keep his identity a secret. Banksy's most common use of work is stencil work, and his art can be seen in cities all throughout the United States or throughout the world.
Good morning, I'm Amanda, and I need the first 5 people to stand. According to the U.S. news report, Newsweek, you guys represent the nearly 1/4 of Americans that confess to feeling under extreme stress. Today I'm going to talk about stress, and by the end, you will hopefully be able to learn ways to cope with stress. Now that you know what I'm going to talk about, the 3 points that I'm going to cover is what is chronic stress, causes of stress, and ways to cope with stress. According to U.S. Newsweek and report, stress is the body's reaction to malfunction. It plays a role in many diseases. Extreme situations that stresses people out, causes their body to react heavily. It plays a role in many diseases such as diabetes, depression, and asthma. It also has an effect on the cardiovascular system. Now that I've talked about what chronic stress is, I would like to talk about the causes of stress. One cause of stress is job stressors. For example, going on interviews to get a job. Promotions and worrying about deadlines that need to be met. Fears and frequent change are also causes of stress. For example, when people fear heights, when they overcome that fear, they feel anxiety. And then frequent change, as in moving a lot, causes stress, especially on young children. Unresolved past or present problems. For example, when people live on something that was overwhelming in the past, it causes them constant stress in the future. Now that I've talked about causes of stress, I want to talk about ways to cope with stress. According to a weekly reader publication, first you need to identify what causes stress. Identifying what causes you the stress will allow you to make changes in your life. Exercising and good nutrition will cause you to feel better about yourself and lower stress. And talking to others will help you relieve tension and stress. Now that
I've talked about ways to cope with stress, I would like you to remember that stress plays a role in many diseases. Facing fears can relieve stress, and keeping good in nutrition and exercise will help you in the future.